Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning and happy Halloween. Yeah, as if we need something else scary in around, right? All right, so I figured this morning we're going to take a break from what's going on in the Middle East. We're going to take a break from what's going on in the craziness that is politics. God knows that's scary enough in itself. But I want to get into winter, okay? Like most of you, the deep freeze hit me overnight. And I mean, now we are supposed to be down in the 20s at night. So this is it. It's time to get ready for winter if you haven't already got started. But what I wanted to cover this morning are 7 things that are potentially going to be hard to find this winter, shortages that we are going to have, most of which being food. And hopefully you can get ahead of the curve before the American public wakes up one day and goes, "Where is everything?" Okay? No, I'm not trying to fear porn everything. It's not like, oh my God, we're going to go to the grocery store and there's not going to be anything. Just what there's going to be shortages. And when we have shortages, that means we're going to have higher prices than we already have, thanks to Bidenomics. So let's get into this. All right. Number 1, a prepper's staple, rice. Okay. I mean, we all know that rice has already gone up. We have the issues with what's going on with Russia, Ukraine. We have the issues with bad weather in China and Pakistan, where they grow a lot of rice. And so a lot of the rice that we grow here in the States, primarily in Arkansas, is getting shipped overseas. Okay. We're feeding them. Well, here's the problem. This kind of goes into the cold front we're in. We are in an El Nino, and this means that we get a atypical warming of the water surface in the Eastern Pacific, and that's going to cause all sorts of crazy weather, and that is going to cause problems for the rice crop, which hence means we are going to have shortages in rice. If rice paddies, rice fields, whatever you want to call them, don't produce as much, and we're still trying to ship it overseas, we're trying to keep what we have here, it's going to cause prices to go up. So, get a chance, grab a little extra rice. It's a staple, right? Having a little more ain't going to hurt. Next one, number 2, another staple for us all, pasta. I'm betting like most of you, or like me, most of you have pounds and pounds and pounds of spaghetti or elbows or some sort of pasta in your preps, probably in 5-gallon buckets and Mylar bags. Got it out like it should be. Okay. Yeah, well, we got a problem with pasta, and it kind of goes combined between number 2 and number 3. Number 3 being flour. Okay. We are having an issue with grain harvests, not just domestically, but worldwide. Okay. And I mean, I'll give you this. When you think of pasta, where do you think of? Italy first, right? The pasta problem in Italy is so bad that the government has been having crisis talks on how to handle the need for pasta. Okay. So you get into the fact that pasta prices are expected to go up 50% this winter. Okay. So if you want to grab something else, grab a little bit more macaroni, grab a little bit more spaghetti noodles. If you find them on sale, grab it. Kind of reminds me of that story the other day. I don't know if anybody saw this, but some guy, I guess there's a viral video somewhere, TikTok or Twitter or something. Somebody walked into the store and found Velveeta shells and cheese on the shelf for 50 cents a box. They're normally like $1.79, I think the story said. And I don't buy them. And the guy's like, holy crap, 50 cents a box. And literally took them all. Okay. And the comments all under the video were, I would have too, right? But that was it. Finding pasta, another very basic staple, gonna be hard. Number four, because number three was flour. That's the reason for the pasta. Number four might have something to do with today, huh? Shortage that we're going to have this year. Chocolate. Now, anybody seen we have a huge hike in prices of candy for Halloween today? Okay. Usually this time is when you go to the store, this time of year you go to the store, and chocolate's on sale all over the place, right? Because, hey, everybody buys candy for the kids trick-or-treating. Nope, we've got a little issue. We are in a chocolate shortage. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say chocolate is a must-go-get prepper item, but things like Hershey's Cocoa or any sort of baking chocolates that you might have, yeah, those are important preps to have, because you're going to need a little bit of comfort food. You're going to want something sweet, whether it's making cookies or something, something to just take a little bit of the stress off. If you can't go to the store and buy Oreo cookies or chocolate ice cream or whatever, maybe you can bake some chocolate cookies and it's a little bit of comfort food. But we are in a chocolate shortage. How about that one? Okay. This is an interesting one. Salmon. How many of you guys eat fish? Okay. I know a lot of people either don't like fish or can't eat fish due to allergies or whatever. But fish is another good staple to have in the freezer. Never tried to can fish. I don't know if it can even be done. Well, I guess it can, because you can buy canned fish, but salmon is short. How do I say this? Well, the salmon run this year, the spawn, is the lowest it's been in 15 years, both on the Pacific coast, the West Coast, and up in Alaska. Okay. So we have a problem there. Now, you need salmon for you don't need, but salmon is good for your antioxidants and your other minerals, things like that you need to survive. There's one to take care of. Yep, got to get one of those in a week, don't we? All right, next one, beef. Okay. We are finally coming into the point where all that beef problem that we had a year or so ago, I'm going to sneeze again. All that beef problem we had a year ago where the farmers couldn't afford to feed the cattle, well, now we're starting to see the problem. The cattle that they are sending to slaughter is smaller. How do I know this for sure? I got my beef delivered last week, okay? This year, Mrs. P and I got a whole beef because we wanted to put more back. Last year, we got a half beef, okay? The whole beef we got this year was 65 pounds more than the half beef we got last year. What does that mean? Smaller cows, smaller steers that are being sent to slaughter. This is the problem. Even if it's grass-fed, not grain-fed or whatever, that you don't have as much in the way of cattle to go to slaughter to put food on the shelves. So yeah, we are going to have a, not shortage, but though you could say that with smaller cows going to slaughter, but you are going to have big price hikes. Okay. Getting away from food, the last one, this shouldn't surprise anybody. We are going to have a petroleum issue going into next year. Depending on how long the war lasts, depending on who gets involved in the war, this could be anything from gasoline to need motor oil change, to fuel oil for your house, to propane, to natural gas, to plastic. anything that comes out of petroleum, if we can't get it out of the Middle East, God knows Joe won't pump it out of the United States or won't frack it out so we have it, we're going to have a problem. And remember, Europe ain't getting a whole lot of Russian gas, okay? So we've been sending it to them, and winter's coming. We'll probably see a whole bunch of stories of, oh my God, Europe's freezing again. Their solar didn't work. They can't get natural gas. What are we going to do? They're chopping down forests. They're putting coal plants together, just like we did last year. But now with a war in the Middle East, that is going to disrupt shipping. There's already been stories about the pirates trying to stop these ships from going through. So get ready to pay more at the pump, pay more in your electric bill, especially if your electricity is generated by any sort of fuel. Get ready across the board. None of this should come as a surprise to preppers. None of this should tear us apart, go, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because chances are we all have rice in the pantry. We all have flour or wheat berries in the pantry, and we can make it through. But the reason I point this out is because the normies who don't, they're going to freak. I can't buy pasta. I can't buy flour. I can't buy chocolate. What are they going to do? They're going to get more irate than they already are. And then we're going to start hearing screams all over the place and finger pointing and blaming. And if you get a chance, grab a little extra, have some, because just like the supply chain always has a problem, it's not like it's all going to end quickly. Beginnings come fast. All of a sudden, we're out of rice. But the time to get it back on the shelves doesn't come, oh, Monday morning, we got all our rice again. It takes time to get back through the system. Pay attention to what is going to be short going into winter. Be prepared. Pinball out.